So today I want to talk about how to find the perfect guitar for you. Sometimes it's easy to get lost in the hunt for gear, especially guitars. It's overwhelming. There's so many options, from the materials to the pickups to the finish, that you might find that the best guitar for you might not actually exist yet. If you're new here, my name is Richie, and today we're talking about Partscasters. So about a year ago, I was starting to pick up a lot of session work, and I was doing a lot of those recording gigs sitting right here at this desk. And sometimes the stuff that I lay down for these clients can be challenging to play, and I'm sitting here for hours on end just to get the right take. Now, most of what I track for clients is country-oriented electric guitar, so you can imagine that the best tool for the job is, of course, a Telecaster. But I have another guitar in my arsenal which I absolutely love. It's a Music Man Luke 3, which is a Steve Lukather signature model guitar. The neck is finished in gunstock oil, the fretboard is a compound radius, and it has stainless steel frets. That neck is the most comfortable neck I've ever played. The problem, though, is that the Luke is not exactly a country guitar, and Music Man doesn't make a Telecaster. So I decided to spend some time thinking about what I would want if I could have the perfect Telecaster for session guitar work without spending $3,000. And it didn't take long for me to go down the rabbit hole of Partscasters and start to source parts to build it myself. And after a few months of dreaming, planning, ordering parts, and even designing my own logo, the time came to put it all together, and out came this guitar. It has an alder body from MJT, relic hardware from random sellers on Reverb, Gotoh locking tuners, Fender custom shop twisted Tele pickups, and a roasted flame maple cap two-piece neck which I found from a seller on eBay. Now the neck is what I was most worried about because it's the main reason that I wanted to build this guitar. But when it got here, I was floored by the quality. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm almost certain that it's a Chinese-made neck. But I couldn't be happier with it, and it kept the cost low enough to make this project viable. I did take the neck to a local luthier to have the frets dressed, but the cost of that fret dressing plus the cost of the neck was still less than what it would have cost for a premium American-made neck. And honestly, I can't imagine it playing any better than this. And that's kind of the point I want to get across in this video. You don't have to spend a bunch of money to build a great guitar. You just need to have a vision and a DIY spirit. Some people may tell you that your guitar is only as good as the quality of its parts. And don't get me wrong, you can go too cheap on a Partscaster. You can buy a bad neck that's warped or has bad frets, or poorly wound pickups, or badly soldered controls. There is a quality threshold that you want to meet, and you do still want to be picky even if you're doing this on a budget. But that threshold's probably lower than you think. This is the best Telecaster I've ever owned, and I'm all in on this guitar. The body, the neck, the hardware, the pickups, for under $1,000. The beauty of the design of the Telecaster and the Stratocaster is that this is more or less what Leo Fender envisioned from the beginning. A Telecaster especially is supposed to be a working man's guitar. The necks are meant to be replaceable. The pickups, the hardware, the bridge, all replaceable. When you buy a custom shop guitar, yes, you are going to get a very high quality instrument. But the reason those guitars are high quality compared to something that comes off an assembly line is the time spent by a master builder on the setup and the assembly of the guitar. When you build a Partscaster, you get to be the master builder. When you finish your build, no one will know that guitar as intimately as you will. And you learn a whole bunch of new skills along the way, like soldering and how to set up your guitar. And if you do it right, plan well, take your time, and have a little patience with yourself, you might just come out the other end with your dream guitar. So just a couple quick things about this guitar. One of the things that I wanted to do was have a reverse control plate on here, which just allows you to get to this volume pot a little bit easier, not have the switch in the way. And this actually has a reverse taper pot on it, so turning it counterclockwise turns the volume up, which is the opposite of how it usually is. But this just makes it a little easier to do volume swells with if you don't have a volume pedal. And the other thing I love on this guitar is just this beautiful flame maple back that it has on it. And like I said, I mimicked my Ernie Ball guitar, my Music Man, and finished the back in just gunstock oil. There's no finish other than that, and it's just buttery smooth to play because of that. And then here you can see the headstock that I designed with my logo. Turned out pretty good. And this guitar has basically become my daily driver. I've recorded a bunch of sessions with it, I've gigged with it, and I was there when it was born. So I hope I've convinced you to try building a Partscaster. I think it's something every guitar player should do at least once. It's just such a rewarding experience, and at the end of it, you get a guitar that's truly yours. Thanks for watching The Back Pickup. My name's Richie. If you like this content, please subscribe, please like, and I'll see you next time.